Good evening, everyone. Chris Schultz, Gary Hoff with FridayNightVictors.com. We're here doing our Week 3 wrap-up. Talk about the games from last week. And, let's jump into the Downriver League right away. And let's go with the Carlson 71 and Kennedy 14. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, we jokingly said it could be 100-0, and that was more truth. Turned out to be more of a truthful statement than not. Kennedy's not very good. Carlson is very good, coached very well, so that's the kind of score you're going to get there.
Yeah, and I think Kennedy kind of, at this point, because the school's going to be closing and merging with Truman, I think they're more of a JV team at this point. It's just, it is what it is. So that was our lone game in the Downriver League. We had the SEC Red. We have Monroe High 37 and Ann Arbor Skyline 22. Big win for the Trojans. Any thoughts on that? We got the young sophomore, Jared Banks, running wild again.
Yeah, he made the quality performer list again.
Yep.
Going to go for 3 in a row this week, maybe. Monroe 2-1. That's kind of how we thought they would do. Next week's game is a winnable game as well. So Monroe is looking good at this point. And Banks. And big offensive line. I saw a lot of pictures on Facebook of their offensive line. There were some big boys. The Rehoviak kid, he's 6'1", 250. He looks like a dwarf compared to some of those other guys. And he's 6'1", 250. He's a big kid.
Yeah, we're very happy Monroe's winning. It's nice to see Monroe football kind of back. Maybe, you get a running back like that. He's got to be pretty doggone good if he's running for those type of yards.
Yeah, he's making a difference so far. Yeah.
Sure. The other game in the SEC Red was Saline ended up winning 31-7 over Bedford. This is a game I called Bedford winning this game, and you took Saline. I was going to go with the defense, and it was 7-7.
It was Bedford,
it was 7-7 midway through the third quarter. Bedford blocks a punt, kind of inside the 20, but they can't push it in. They don't get any points out of it. Yeah. Saline comes back and scores a couple touchdowns. It's 21-7, and then they get another mop up 10 points.
You can't let a team with as much talent as Saline. You can't give them any breaks. Yeah. And they caught a couple breaks there against Bedford, and that's what happens sometimes. But it was a good showing, very good showing for Bedford about 3/4 of that game.
Yeah, and I do know Coach Wood wasn't happy. Some of the stuff I saw said that he's got positions up for grabs. It's third week of the season. They should have stuff sorted out. Cole Daniels for Saline, the quarterback, had a huge game, threw for 235 yards, a couple of scores. The Hornets had over 400 yards offense. I did not expect that from the Temperance defense. Yeah. So let's slide over to the LCAA. Big game was Ida 46 and Blissfield 22. Big win for the Blue Streaks. All they do is win.
Yeah, this is one of the games we had different. Of course, I went 8-2 this week. Chris went 7-3. Beat him again. This is one of the differences. Different games we had. You went Blissfield. I went with Ida. I thought it would be a lot closer. I thought about going Blissfield as well, but Ida, you got to give it to them with their offensive linemen in that Mike Clark, Jacob Campbell, and Matt Zlankevich. Coach Potter talked about those guys, the senior linemen, returning linemen, being the reason they will play well if they do play well, and they're playing well, and he was right. They are the reason, just getting it done in the full house tee, and.
Well, you win in the trenches. Doesn't matter what level, offensive and defensive line. There's 3 returning starters on either side of the ball. Says a lot. You've got a great running game, some good backs. I know Brett Schneider's one of our people up for the Performer of the Week.
Yep.
Ran for a lot of yards and a couple scores. So, big win there by the Blue Streaks. So they're 3-0. Next was Onstead was 56, Erie Mason 0. I think it's just youth. Yeah, outmatched. Onstead's got one of their better teams in a long time. Erie Mason's a work in progress.
I think Onstead's very good this year. Mason is very young this year, and you mix that, and that's the score you're going to get.
Sure. Last game in the LCAA that we cover was Dundee 20 and Hillsdale 7. This is a game where Dundee jumped out 20-0 at halftime, and then just kind of rode it out. Hillsdale scored, 7, but I don't want to say it was an easy victory. I think it was a hard-fought victory. But Vikings got it going on now, winning 2 in a row, and they'll be playing Hudson this week, and we'll talk about that game on Wednesday. Mm-hmm. Any thoughts? Cole Salamine, also one of our players up for the Quality Inn in Monroe Performer of the Week. running the ball, throwing the ball, kind of doing it all.
Yeah, and Coach McElvaney having his kids ready for the second week in a row after a very tough loss in week one. Very important, very tough job. He's doing a great job heading that team. And yeah, Dundee, they're on pace to where we thought they would kind of be. They're 3-0, 2-1. So yeah, they're a nice team in Dundee.
Okay, let's move over to the Huron League. First game we had was over on the island. Groseal 26, Jefferson 6. This was a game that was 26-0 at one point, and the Red Devils just kind of rode it out as well. Quarterback Zach Thompson with a big game, threw for a couple hundred yards, 3 scores. Red Devils getting it done over a struggling Bears team at this point.
Yeah, the Bears have some players out, as a lot of teams do. Bears don't have big numbers whatsoever. Either is Groseal. Island's a tough place to play.
Sure.
And Jefferson's missing Rosmerick and a couple other players that they desperately need to compete.
Mitchell Payman had a big game though, ran for over 120 some yards, had a score I believe. So it was a good game by him in the backfield.
I think we have a ticket text. No, it's my wife. Never mind.
All right, fair enough. Let's move on. So let's roll over to the game that you called, Riverview 34, SMCC Homeboys 7.
Yeah.
What happened?
I'm not going to say anything bad about my Falcons.
Riverview must play well.
Other than if this was a fist fight, SMCC showed up with mittens on, and Riverview showed up with sledgehammers. That's what the game was played like from the first play to the last play. Rogers, Nafe, the offensive line. Let me name some off here. Nathan Maher, Jack DeMar. I was calling those guys' names all night. Just a beating that I haven't seen an SMCC team take in a long time. And you give the credit to Riverview. They came to play from first snap.
Well, let me ask, since I wasn't there and you were, the week before against Flat Rock, they got behind the sticks on first down. Were they getting good yardage on first down? Is that what was going on? Or?
First down, second down, third down. We're on too many fourth downs. They're moving the ball all night, stuffing CC. Of course, it was T versus T, but one T was working and one T was not working. Riverview came to play, and good for them. They bounced back after a tough loss at Flat Rock. SMCC's played 6 great quarters, 6 quarters.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Big week this week for SMCC again. So and Riverview.
Sure.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens next week.
Okay, let's hop into another game, which was Huron 31 and Airport 30. That was a game I was at. That was kind of a wild affair.
It's probably game of the week right there.
Well, I know I said a couple times I can't believe what I just saw, but it was, I don't know, with just over 11 minutes to go, Airport's up 30-14. It looks like it's all over, and somehow Huron finds a way to score, gets a 2-point conversion, gets a stop. They score again, don't get the 2-point conversion, but somehow get another stop. And then, they move the ball down the field enough and line it up for their senior kicker, Atherton, who had to wait his turn behind a good kicker last year. And he knocked in a 35-yarder, left footer. As time expired, probably would have been good from 45. Yeah. It was
steel huevos, as they say.
Yeah. It was a game. It reminded me a lot of the Airport Dundee game where Dundee probably feels like Airport stole one from them, although they earned it. I'm sure Airport feels the same way, although Huron probably earned it because they got the stops they needed, forced some fumbles. It was just a good game. I mean, a couple things. Airport's got some really good backs. For Bondi, Dial, their quarterback Tanner Jessica is very poised. They've got a very good line. Duffy did a great job. You could tell they were prepared, and I think that's one thing he probably learned from Jack Jarmo was preparation. I think it's a game that just kind of got away from Airport and probably deserved the win.
There was a lot of comments from Huron and Airport people on the blog about the extra point. What's your take on that? You were there.
Well, what it was is they got the score to 30, and they lined up to kick the extra point, and Huron tried to block it twice. And they were called offsides, and each time the whistle blew it dead. So they basically had
3/4 yard line, right?
3/4 yard line to get, the 2-point conversion. So I probably would have done the same thing. The book says kick the extra point to make it 31, go up 17.
Had they been kicking extra points the whole time?
They had, yeah.
Kicker looked good?
Kicker solid, yeah, for sure. Yeah. They gave the ball to 4, and the linebackers for Huron made a nice play. I'd have ran the quarterback sneak. They had snuck it in earlier with Jessica.
I'd have kicked the extra point. But
sure, I get it. So that's neither here nor there. I don't think in the grand scheme of things. It was just a good high school football game. Once again, big crowd, crazy crowd.
I'll say Airport was prepared, but I think that was in my judgment, take it for what it's worth, that was an error by Coach Duffy. He probably should have kicked the extra point. 17-18 doesn't matter much. Get the point. If you got a good kicker, if you trust him,
he's a good kicker. Yeah. So you had to be panicking a little bit. You went big with the Chiefs, but
I did.
Airport came to play though.
Airport came to play. I'm not going to say they're better than I thought they were. I picked them 4-5. I think they might go 5-4. The game against SMCC will be a big one.
Sure.
But I don't know. They came to play that game. That's for sure. I mean, Huron was out one of their big stars, maybe one of the best players in the entire league. That made a difference for me. But I didn't know he was out. But yeah. So Airport played a great game. Huron played a great game. It was a great game. So
yeah, it was. I was glad I was there. It was fun to watch. It was a great high school football game. Last game was the Gerwick-Nissan game of the week. Milan 32, Flat Rock 22. Kind of a close game there. Flat Rock jumped out early, I believe, and then Milan just, they do what they do.
Yeah.
They run the ball. Hunter Ashbacher had a huge game, ran for nearly 200 yards, a couple of touchdowns, had a 90-yard kickoff return.
Yeah,
for a touchdown.
He was big the week before against SMCC as well, Ashbacher. It was Hines did a lot, but his right-hand man, if you will, was number 44, Ashbacher. He was very good. So that's 2 games in a row that he's been a big-time performer for them. A sophomore, is that right?
No, he's a junior.
He's a junior?
Yeah, my bad. He was up on the varsity last year as a sophomore, but he's a junior. Super fast, put together pretty well, 5'10"-ish.
Oh, he's tough.
200 pounds. Tough kid. Typical Milan kid, hard-nosed. So, anyway, so that's where we're at. You were 8-2. I was 7-3. At least we're not where we were week 1.
Yeah.
I forgot all about that. So anyways, you want to throw something out about our sponsors real quick?
Yes, thank you, Gerwick-Nissan. Thank you, Vince's Point of Pole in Newport. And thank you, Level Up Training, John Carabino. Thank you, who else we got? Quality Inn in Monroe. We just talked about the quality or the Gerwick Game of the Week and the Quality Inn Perform of the Week. You can vote for that. Is that still up?
Yeah, it's still up. It'll be up to till tomorrow, which is Tuesday at about 4 o'clock. I think it's coming down.
Okay.
So a lot of votes.
Yeah.
A lot of votes. So get out there. So that's our show. Thanks everybody for watching. We appreciate you being out there. And if you want to make some comments or anything like that, feel free to drop us an email at FridayNightVictors@gmail.com. Thanks.